Namo. An excellent question I received today on Facebook Messenger. Sushanta Ganguly. He works at Accenture in Bangalore, Bengaluru. So he has asked, Namaskara Nityananda ji. I have a question. In Sanskrit, first person is called uttama-puruṣa, second person is called madhyama-puruṣa, and third person is called prathama-puruṣa. Why third person is called prathama? Why not tṛtīya or adhama? Is it just a nomenclature or any ideas lie behind it? That's the question. And he's asked why the third person, the English third person, is called prathama-puruṣa. Why not tṛtīya or adhama? So he's contrasting uttama with adhama. Uttama means best or the most excellent. Adham means the most inferior or most inferior. Opposite of adham and uttama are often used as opposites. The answer is that the meaning of uttama here is not the best or the excellent. The meaning is the last. And the word uttama has several meanings. One of the meanings is the last, one which occurs at the end. That's why the second half is also called uttamardha. It's called uttarardha also. The first half purvardha. First half or first part purvardha. The second half or second part uttamardha or uttarardha. Similarly, uttamaha, the last day. So one of the meanings of the word uttama is the last, and this meaning is attested in many major dictionaries. You can look them up, including Apte, the compounds which I cited, and other Sanskrit to English dictionaries also. So the meanings are: prathama is first, madhyama is in the middle, madhye bhava, madhyama, and uttama is at the end. That is the meaning of prathama-puruṣa, madhyama-puruṣa, and uttama-puruṣa. And why they are called prathama-puruṣa, madhyama-puruṣa, and uttama-puruṣa is because in spoken Sanskrit, how Sanskrit was usually and is usually spoken, the prathama-puruṣa is mentioned first, the madhyama-puruṣa is mentioned in between, and the uttama-puruṣa is mentioned at the end. For example, there's an example cited in the Mahabhashya of Patanjali. Tvam chaham cha pachava. You and I cook, or you and I cook together. So tvam chahan cha, tvam cha aham cha pachava. You and I cook. So I, aham, is mentioned at the end. There are several examples like these available, and this is the usual way of speaking. First, the prathama-puruṣa is spoken of, he or she. Next, you is spoken of. That's the second person in English, madhyama-puruṣa, in between in Sanskrit. And at the end, uttama-puruṣa, or the last person, is spoken of. And there is another grammar in Sanskrit. In addition to Ashtadhyayi, there are many grammars. There is one grammar called the Katantra Vyakaranam, the Katantra grammar, and there is a sutra there. Yugpad vachane parah purushanam. Yugpad vachane parah purushanam. So what the sutra says is that when everybody is spoken of together, then the verbal form is of the last person mentioned. And the examples given there give an idea. For example, sacha twan chahancha pachama. He, you, and I cook. That's a stock example. Sa cha, tvam cha, aham cha, pachama. He, you, and I cook. Similarly, tvam cha, aham cha, pachava. The same example is given in the Mahabhashya of Patanjali. So when all the three persons, a person who is not present here, he or she, or in plural they, somebody who is being spoken to, you, and the person who speaks, I. When all the three persons are spoken of together, then the prathama-puruṣa, the first person to be spoken of, is the person not present, which is in English the third person, but in Sanskrit prathama-puruṣa. So he, you, and I cook. The person who's spoken of in between is the madhyama-puruṣa, and the person who's spoken of at the end at last is the uttama-puruṣa, and the word uttama here means last or final and not the best. This is why prathama-puruṣa, madhyama-puruṣa and uttama-puruṣa, first person, middle person and last person, these are the literal translations, and not best person, and hence there is no adhama-puruṣa. Prathama-puruṣa, first person, madhyama-puruṣa, middle person, and uttama-puruṣa, last person. That is the reason why these words are used, and these terminologies were prevalent much before Panini also. So in the commentaries we see that Panini has used these nomenclatures from earlier grammars prior to his time. So that was the answer. I hope you liked this session. Please keep asking such questions and I'll be taking them up in a future video. Namo.